Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
No! I said, are you ready?
You're listening to the Goof Norton Radio Show.
He's the best of the best of the best.
He has a wonderful voice.
If you don't like him,
You don't have a soul.
I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
We're here. It's the podcast. We're back. It's live. We're just doing the darn thing because we can. It's the podcast. We're live here. Welcome everybody back to another broadcast of the Goof Norton Radio Show. It has been a while. It really has been a while. Wow. We were supposed to do this last week, but guess what? Technology failed and everything went kaput. So that was a fun time to deal with. But, you know, because the audio jacked up and blah, blah, blah. All the extra nonsense. So, I appreciate you guys for stopping by here. But I will say there has been a lot going on in the gaming world. There has been a lot going on in the gaming world. And we must talk about it. We must. We just have to. There's no way we could ever. There's no way we could ever ignore this. Ignore all the shenanigans and all the chicanery that has been happening. So, some of my notes today are just going out the window. Partially because what the frick? I wanted to get into first just the new year, not the new year, frickin' the PC versus console thing, because it's going to be a quick thing, right? It's not going to be that long. We're hopefully not going to spend that much time on it. We're going to be able to just kind of, say what we need to say and move on from it, because I don't think there is much left to say about it. I'm sure people go on and on with debates about this, even from the philosophical standpoint for some reason. I don't know. Some people really do just get into it. Like it's just gaming, but people get serious about their gaming, and they really don't like it when one side questions the other as to why. Because that's when people somehow get really touchy. They're just like, you said what? You said PC gaming's terrible? And then they just go off on a tirade listing all these things that's quote unquote wrong with console. And they just like that. They like to do that. That's just what they do. And then the same thing happens with the other side. Somebody questions console, and then they go off on a tirade on PC and be like, well, these are all the things that are wrong with PC, and why PC is not this or why it's not that. So as a person who plays both sides, because I do play on my PC and I love it when I do play the PC games that I enjoy, and then I have my consoles because I have a freaking Xbox and a Switch and a lot of old classic consoles as well. Not a lot, a few, a handful that I enjoy. But I've played both sides of this. Even the early PC gaming when it was just, you insert a disc, right? Instead of being digital storage, you insert a disc and, oh, there's a game. Wow, cool, great. Cartridges and such for console. What a fun time we've been having looking at this. Somebody posted recently, I think it was Instagram that I saw it, and they were genuinely asking. This is a repost from Reddit, so this could be from years ago, about why people actually like console. Why do people actually game on consoles? What's the purpose of gaming on consoles? Why? When PC, well, they listed off a number of things of why console is bad. Price gouging, virtual stores, all that kind of thing, saying that physical games will be, a thing of the past in a couple years. Let's see. I forgot what else because it really wasn't that. Those really weren't significant reasons because I was like, whatever. And then you've got the side that is the console gamers, and they're talking about, well, PC isn't all that great either when you have X amount of clients that, Steam, freaking Epic, and whatever else out there, GOG and Amazon, and I don't think anybody really uses Amazon seriously, but it's there. It exists. And you have a lot of different game clients and Ubisoft Connect as well. Bunch of garbage, that is. And they're not really giving you the best content they possibly could because everybody knows Steam has its issues. Everybody knows that Steam has its issues. And what they do question about Steam is this whole debacle with Steam has been going on for years. So nobody's really all that surprised anymore about that kind of thing. But when it comes down to PC gaming and console gaming, I think it's fair to say that it's an each their own kind of experience. Because why would it matter to anyone else so much that someone else is enjoying their experience? Because a lot of people, for what it is, what I see is that people have grown up with consoles because not everybody could afford a PC because PCs have been expensive. Personal computers are very expensive. They have been. And now you buy one these days for gaming, the prices go through the freaking roof. The prices go through the freaking roof. And it's all for what? Some slightly better graphics? Oh, I can run my game at 120 frames per second. Okay. And there's consoles that can do that now. The Series X and the PS5, they can do that. So it's not really much of a flex at that point. 4K? Who cares about 4K? Who needs 4K? 4K is it's a level above, but it's not necessary to enjoy the gaming experience because if you're just talking about graphics, that's never been really important when it comes to games. Like, it's just not. It's not part of the experience that you necessarily need. I need to have, 120 frames per second to be able to enjoy the game. But that's the problem with some of these games that are made for PC is that they're laggy. They seem laggy if you don't run them at max frames. But that's just bad game development and bad optimization, I think, by the game developers, personally speaking. And that's just something that they need to fix. But honestly, I don't understand why people are so concerned about how console gamers are enjoying themselves. Like, I don't know. I have no idea why people are so concerned with such a thing. Because for me, what I see is that there are certain games I will enjoy for PC, certain games I will enjoy for console. The other part is also the control scheme, right? Where they keep some games, you do have to play with keyboard. You do. Some games you do absolutely have to play with keyboard. Because that's the way the game dev decided to make them. Now, more game devs are being like, oh, well, since controllers can just connect to the PC, people can just plug those in or just use them wirelessly. Let's do that. And so that's what they have started doing. What just happened? Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure my thing didn't cut out. I would have been mad. I would have been so mad. Man. Because it cut out on me yesterday, and I was actively upset because we were gaming on it. I was streaming, and it just died. I clutched in that same round that it died. Like it died as I was clutching a very important win for us. We were just irritated. Truly, truly irritated. But that's okay. And my mouse gets to do that every now and then. But as it pertains to the PC versus console experience, like people enjoy it because it's cheaper, right? It is cheaper to get a console than to get a PC. That way, all that money I would have spent on PC parts, on the finest keyboards, the gamer mice, that there are multiple buttons on that you can do fancy things. Mine only has 2 extra buttons for page forward and back. Is what I mostly use it for. I can use it for extra controls. I have done it in Ready or Not, but also the amount of controls sometimes for PC is just too much. A lot of the simpler, more enjoyable games are available readily on console, and there's nothing to really there's no really hard learning curves when it comes to aiming with a controller. The hand feel, especially for the Xbox controller, mine is preferably 360, but it's a very natural feel. Your hand's naturally, resting on this thing and pressing buttons, and you can maneuver it and change it in all sorts of ways. I'm sorry if you're hearing that clicking, but sincerely, it is a perfectly fine piece of hardware that you can use. So much so, at least Xbox versions, I would say it's more geared towards, I guess, an ergonomic design. Some people like to use that word. And I would say that this is because Nintendo tried to copy this as well. And other, I guess, off-brand. That's what I'll say, off-brand. Some other not non-mainstream controller accessory makers, they try to copy the Xbox. They don't really try to copy the PlayStation 1 because the Xbox has the better feel to it. So, to that person, my answer would be probably just that it's just an enjoyable experience for a lot of people. Not everybody needs the finest graphics or the finest, highest running speeds. I'm like, it just needs to work. It just needs to work, and it's simplistic. Console is easy to load up. It's so easy to load up. There's not a lot of settings you really have to adjust. Like there are settings, of course, to adjust because it is console. And every game these days has, and even back then, like you can go back 10 years and still find plenty of games that require you to get those first few settings adjusted and whatnot. But I don't really feel too much of a difference in the experience. I don't. I really don't. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not really that big a deal if whichever one you choose. I'd have to be honest. Because there are some games that I do wish were on console that are only on PC. And then I don't know if there really are any games that are on console only. Oh, Vigor. I wish that game was on PC. I do. I do think they would have to make it. Well, it's not crossplay anyway, so I think they would have to adjust that and make it so not adjust it, but just make sure it stays that way. But make sure the consoles can play together on some level, because that would be nice. But who knows how they would handle it? But who knows? Yeah, who knows how they would actually handle it? Though I really don't. I don't believe in them to be able to make such things happen. Because the game is kind of janky right now, and I will transition into that pretty much now. So I've been playing Vigor for a while now. I have I don't know how many days in it. I can pull that up really quickly to find out how many days I actually have in it. Because the console companion doesn't work anymore, so I just go through here and I open up this. because it's ridiculous that is even a thing. So the Xbox app is loading on my wonderful PC here. And we're just going to find out how many hours I happen to have in our Vigorous experience. In Vigor, I have 5 days and 20 hours in this game. 5 days, 20 hours in the game. So I played enough to be able to tell you some things about it. Some things. Not a lot, but some things. I love that my mouse just did that. I was like waiting for it to happen. Because I was using it a lot. But my experience has been rough, I will say. It's been rough. I've enjoyed the game. I do like the game, but it is just janky. It's janky in all sorts of kinds of ways. Like, for instance, the mantling. The mantling mechanic is broken. It doesn't work very well. And you have to be at specific angles sometimes to even mantle things. You can't just be doing it, running up to things willy-nilly and just being like, I want to climb over this. And it lets you. It's like, nope, you have to be facing this straight on. You can't do this from even any deviation from just being looking straight at it. Not even the slightest. So, now you've got the weapons that are also part of the issue, I would say, with the game experience. The only reason I say that is because the devs do not want to add attachments. They're not going to. That's not in their plans. They're not going to. They say the weapons are balanced as they are, and there's not really much. There's plenty of weapons that they offer that do have scopes. But I don't think that the problem is that there's already weapons that do have scopes. There's weapons that don't have scopes that people do want scopes on because it would make it easier to aim. Because some people really don't do well with iron sights. And I can understand that because it is hard to adjust to iron sights. It is. Because a lot of people are used to having the attachments of COD or Siege or any other, or freaking even Fortnite. Especially Fortnite now, because Fortnite added in the addition of adjustable attachments that you could replace and fix and customize. In a second, respond to this text. So now, right, you have the dilemma that is people. I mean, there are plenty of people out there, and it's third person, right? It's third person. You can toggle between first person and aiming and ADSing to make it, and that's where the iron sight problem comes in, because though you can see a little bit more clearly by ADSing, you now have to figure out, okay, here's how I'm aiming, right? I'm not hitting this person even though I'm aimed right at them, but they're at this particular distance. So we have to either shoot up or shoot down, depending where I am and where they are. It's learning all those minute adjustments, basically getting good, that you have to really, really do in order to even get some kills in this game. And it took me a while to really get back into it in the past, couple months that I've been playing it. So that way I could actually get kills and not get killed so often. I still get killed plenty, but not as often as it used to. And I find the gameplay to be frustrating because it's an extraction shooter, so there's loot to be had, and you go in to get the loot. But the problem is that the stuff that you need to upgrade your shelter, which is like a focal point of the game, kind of, and they're hard to find. Like, they're really not, you can't like pinpoint any places to be like, oh, there's only a couple places that I know of, because there's a Discord for finding stuff that I joined. And they do not have certain places for certain materials. You need building materials. They have chemicals, they have fertilizer, they have mechanical parts, they have wire, they have electronics, stuff like that. And there really isn't a set place that that stuff occurs. And that's the biggest problem for me, is because I'm at a certain point where I just can't progress because I'm just busy trying to look and look and look and look. And I have to go into like a freaking who knows how many more encounters to try and find this stuff without hopefully dying to a sweat who's in there just to freaking murk people, murk the whole lobby. And that's my other issue, is that the matchmaking is bonkers because I'll enter a match with with a friend, and guess what? We'll be dead. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'm so sick of this phone, I swear. It just makes texting so hard. It's so not responsive sometimes. Ugh. That's frustrating. All right. Sorry. But that's the frustrating part for me, I think. Is there's no real skill-based matchmaking. You just get match made with whoever. Because I've gotten in lobbies with people who are excellent at this game, and I've seen them on stream playing the game, and I'm like, I'm just witnessing them how they go about their business. You know, I usually stay away from those guys intentionally because I'm like, I'm not going to win that fight. I'm just going to lose. It's just going to be an immediate loss. I'm going to be frustrated because I lost all my stuff and whatnot. The earning of crowns in the game is far and few in between. You just pretty much buy them, and then that's when you get them. Sometimes you get them in the battle pass periodically, um, and even that, I'm like, well, because you want an abundance of crowns. Obviously, everybody wants to be rich, but really, there aren't that many ways to earn crowns. You have to just mostly buy them. If you want a bunch of them, you gotta buy them. There is one perk that you can upgrade within your shelter that lets you generate a certain amount of crowns per day, but like the max is not that high at all. Right now, I think I generate 4.4 crowns per day. That's per day. That's a 24-hour cycle, and I mean real day cycle. Some of these upgrades they occur within a real day cycle. So if the upgrade says it's going to take 2 hours to complete, it's going to take 2 real hours to complete. That's the other thing. This game seems to be built for longevity, but at the same time, there are core issues that I see and that others in the Discord can point out to you better than I can, because I can't really articulate well since I played this game a lot, but at the same time, I don't study the errors and how they could fix it because I'm not a game critic. Typically, sometimes I can be, but most times I'm not. Um, so yeah, I just it's just frustrating to play the game because I want to like the game, I really do. And there are some times where I'm like, I'm happy with my experience. This is cool. This is great. This is what I wanted to do. This is exactly what I was looking for. And at the same time, it is like the most frustrating thing that I currently am playing. And I'm just like, I want this pain to stop. Like, I want to not suffer like this. I want to be experiencing tranquility and peace, but I can't because this game is just really, really bent on trying to make me have a heart attack out of just pure rage. Like it just seems like that because some of the matchmaking is just freaking awful, and then some of the games, just playing the game is terrible sometimes because in like shootouts, right? They have a map that takes place. Shootout is a free for all, basically. Is what it is. That's free for all. You kill people, you respawn, you try to kill the most amount of people in the so you can win and get an extra little bonus for winning. But everybody, as far as I know, gets rewards when you gets rewards when you play. So it becomes a. I hope I really don't get. I called off of work today. I put it at. Well, I put it in the system. So I hope that was seen. Because I also sent out an email along with that. But we'll see what happens, because I'm supposed to technically start in 3 minutes, but I did take off today because of precautionary measures, because of weather and such. So, I figured, well, because the gameplay is frustrating because on that particular map on the dam, um, it's so laggy. Like I load, okay, and I'm like, okay, but once I get near someone, it starts to lag again, and then next thing you know, I'm dead, because there are plenty of times that I wish I would have recorded that are laggy, and I just like lag in the moment where I'm about to make contact with someone and start shooting, and then boop, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about that kind of stuff. I can't make movements or anything. I just like it's a struggle to do anything. And that is my experience with it, and that's why I hate it so much. And now you may say, "Oh, well, just don't do shootouts on that." And I'm like, "You're right." And I don't. I typically don't. I do my best to avoid such things because it's not good to subject yourself to punishment and torture when you don't have to. If it's a part of the game, as in the game's intentionally supposed to make you mad or it's potentially supposed to challenge you and your skill sets, then okay, I get that, right? Um, hold on, I forgot to pull it. Yeah, it's fine. I don't need to pull up chat right now, but um, that is my one of my major complaints about the game is just the laggy nature of it and the clunky feel of some of the controls. Oh, thank you, phone, for telling me this 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 hours later. It likes to give me notifications from different apps that I'd be like, I've already opened this app on different devices, so I don't know why you're telling me now. But the game is just frustrating. It's all I gotta say. It's frustrating. Like I don't get how they've made it this far, and they need to keep tweaking this heavily. I'm like my hope is that they keep tweaking heavily tweaking it because that's going to allow more players to come in and get an enjoyable experience out of it, and more players that currently play it to enjoy it more. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing is just them making tweaks and adjustments to the game so that way it's a better overall experience for the average player. And eventually, I would suggest them to add skill based matchmaking because it's like I don't want to play with somebody who's already completed the battle pass and who knows exactly where to go and what to do. I want to play with people who have that have the same about the same understanding of the map that I do, or at least the same shooting skills as I do. I don't need to be facing people with like high KDs because I don't have that. I need people who have sucky KDs, really bad ones, because that's about where I am in the on the in the tier list of skills, of skill sets and whatnot. So I just want to I just want to have a nice experience with the game. But skill based matchmaking, I think we need, and different matchmaking modes, I would suggest as well. Like having a mode for duos and trios, because what's not fun is getting just jumped by a trio. And then, even though we may be better skill wise, there's always that one person that sneaks up at the end that you're looking for, but you can't seem to find them for some reason. And oh, oop, and oh, he's behind you or something, and he gets a nice lucky headshot on you, and then you're dead, but your partner stays alive and then dies for some mysterious reason because somebody else decided to third party it and clean up the scraps. That's the nature of the game, sure, but that's the most annoying part of it that they could mitigate by letting trios be a separate matchmaking thing, let duos be a separate matchmaking thing. Because just like you can't do shootout when you have somebody else in your party, you should not be able to matchmake in certain match types when it comes to being a trio. Like just have a separate section for trios and duos. Trios can be in their map because you can have what, up to 12 people. So that's four trios. That's 4 trios you can have in a match. That's perfect. That's fine. Because it's either 4 trios or 3 trios. They can just be in their own lobbies. And then duos have their separate thing. And then obviously solos. And you can still add in the option for people doing lone wolf challenges. But make sure they're only in lobbies that are duos. Or give them the option to be in a lobby with a duo or a trio. Like, that would be one of my critiques. For sure. And let them do that, Doesn't matter what level they are, obviously, if they're past, like, level 5 or something. Because it's not overall level. I believe it is just Battle Pass level is what we see. So we don't know exactly who this person is and how long they've been playing. We can assume based on what level they are on the Battle Pass, how much experience they have in the game. And this assumption tends to be correct. Most of the time it tends to be correct. Obviously, if you're level 50, you're probably the massive menace in the lobby. If you're level 0, we're not going to be that afraid of you. We're going to run into you and you're going to die. Anywhere between there, like once you start getting to past level 30, then it's like these people are capable of absolutely murdering you, and they will. So it's the scale needs some adjustment, but I think they could make a comprehensive system that would just be like, oh, okay. Oh, man. I am ready for a nap. I really am. But we'll see if I ever get that nap. Just if I get to go to bed early in the night, and I don't need a nap. So I think I'm running out of juju. Just a little bit. Last thing I will mention is the Twitter experience of streaming has been, I don't know, it's been okay. Like, I don't hate it. I don't have to pay attention much to it, which is great. Like, when I can do something and not really care about it much, I can just relax and just let, Twitter be Twitter and do my own thing. Not really a big concern of mine. So, it was interesting. It's been interesting to kind of be here and see what's up. So, but I will say that it won't be my main thing. Obviously, YouTube is my main thing, and we like seeing YouTube and doing stuff on YouTube. But having the opportunity to stream somewhere else is good. Like, there will be other platforms I'll be testing out just to kind of test the waters and see what's up. Just the waters and see what's up, and it's just like, okay, all right, cool, great. But I think that's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be it for us here. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching this. I really do. I hope you have enjoyed this wonderful podcast. I'm reading stuff on Twitter, so don't mind me. The slow speech is on purpose. I'm just kind of like checking stuff out, seeing what it is before I get off here, see if there's anything important, but there's not, thankfully. So, thank you so much for watching. You'll see me again later, YouTube. I'll be doing some other stuff. So, but until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, and what just happened? Nothing happened. The recording's still going, right? Not the recording, but the stream is still going, right? Okay, we're good. But stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.